Hey, what's up, everyone? Sean here with BlueRidgeSilverhound, and we have a Pocket Change Market Report. This is your midweek edition, June 28th, 2023. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I know a lot of you really enjoy this report as we take a dive into some of the most relevant varieties and errors that folks have resold on eBay within the last couple days. All right, so we have quite a bit of activity. We've seen a few notable coins continually sell every week. One of those is the 2023 Extra V Lincoln. We have a couple more updated sales records to talk about today. Are these things on the way down? Have they finally settled down to a price point that is a little bit more manageable for a variety that all of a sudden is kind of gaining a lot of interest since the Mike Diamond report in Coin World magazine? And not to mention that a few of the big third-party grading companies are beginning to attribute these as the Extra V. So we're going to talk about that. But in a nutshell, a lot of the coins today, a lot of coins that we haven't talked about in a little while. Let's go ahead and revisit some of those as well. Some of your run-of-the-mill type of errors and varieties that we used to talk about quite a bit often. A few of them did show up in the last 24 to 48 hours, and yeah, we're going to cover those as well. So a few things to kind of point out. This is probably the last PCMR for the month, as we will be at the Tulsa, Oklahoma coin show and influencer, I guess, meet and greet. So that's a lot of the big influencers in the coin and precious metal space, myself included. The live coin Q&A panel will be there as well, along with some of your other favorites like Rob Finds Treasure. Silver Seeker will be there, along with a huge variety of other influencers. So it's going to be great. We're going to be doing live streams all day on Friday and Saturday, which are going to be the two most important days of the show. But it spans from Thursday all the way up to Sunday. We're not going to be in attendance on Sunday because usually that's the wind down day. A lot of dealers are packing up for the, after the dust had settled, and they're taking off. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that. We will be doing a Whatnot auction on Friday night. It's going to be part 2 of the benefit auction for Always Unique Gen. We had a really massive turnout this past Friday. So we'll have that again here this Friday, part 2, and hopefully the final part as we try and get some money for Miss Jen, who is one of the friends of the community and the channel. She needs an air conditioning really bad for her house. It just went out a few weeks ago, and they are struggling. She's struggling along with her husband. So we're going to help out the best that we can by auctioning off, I would say probably some of her more higher-end pieces. Everything again starts at $1, and we're just going to rip. And then whatever proceeds is left remaining will go to her, and hopefully it'll make a huge impact in getting what she needs. So yeah, look forward to that. I'll have my referral link down below. If you want to sign up for the first time on that platform, you can grab yourself $15 in usable credit right off the rip. So when you make your first purchase, $15 comes off immediately. So look forward to seeing a few of you there on that one. And a few little other things before we dive in. We don't talk about graded coins in these videos. The idea is you find it, you resell it, or you add it to your collection. So you have two different ways to go here. Grading adds that extra element of expense that sometimes really isn't necessary for some of these coins. And then a final thing to point out, and boy, is this very important. The images that you're going to see from all of the respective listings are original to those. All right, we didn't juice or doctor any photos to make them better for this report. You're going to get the best and the worst. It's to give you some insight as to what that kind of like low bar is set for photography. You know, sometimes you don't have to be a professional at the photography part of your coinage to sell them. So that's the good news, and you're going to see it all. All right, let's go ahead and jump into these listings. We have the first one here, 1984 P Roosevelt dime. This is one that, admittedly, I've probably missed a few times. I've searched my fair share of Rosies, and they always seem to come up with some pretty unexpected stuff. This is one of them here. There's actually a reverse cud die break. That's right there meeting up against the top of the letters of America. So the piece of the die had fractured and eventually fallen out, leaving an empty cavity in the die. So when it strikes the coins, all the metal flow will go into the path of least resistance, which is that cavity to fill up and thereby causing this raised blob like you see here. These things have been just an absolute performer in the marketplace. They always are. This one right here, quite minor, did sell for $29. So always look out for these on every coin. They'll show up on the reverse or the obverse. Oh boy, man, this thing is pretty well worn and beat up. It's a coin that admittedly most people look at and just like cast it off as being junk. But one person's trash can be another person's treasure. In the case of this 1940s Lincoln wheat cent, that was just the case. It's got all sorts of problems. It's obviously just a very minimal example of a retained cud die break. Now, it's retained because the piece of the die had fractured but hadn't fallen out yet. So you're still going to get some element of strike on that broken piece of the die, as you can see here. Normally, there's going to be some displacement of the design. You're going to see that this part of the wheat stalk is slightly shifted to the right, and that's what you want to see for a pre-cud. So even with all of the damage and things like this, someone did pay $11.80 for it. So it just goes to show you that there is still some value in some coins that other people would look as being unloved because of its physical condition. And the same goes for this one here, good old nice steely, showing lots of oxidation, maybe a little bit of rust, and some unneeded contact marks there in front of Lincoln's face in the fields. But always a popular dated coin because it's the only coin that was struck on a zinc-coated steel planchet, and it's always been a favorite because of that. So this one right here also bearing that retained cud die break on the reverse, which, right where the wheat stalks are, is a common place for these. So when you have a Lincoln wheat cent, always flip them over, grab your magnifier, and make sure that you have two conjoined die crack entry points, which will generally make up a retained cud. So this one right here, still sold for a $20 bill. I would sell it and trade it for that all day long. And always keep an eye out for some pretty amazing doubled dies. And the most unlikeliest of places is going to be in your junk, scrap, 90% silver. 1934 is always a big date for the FS101. It's one of the most recognized varieties, and this should be at the top of your list every time you're looking through your constitutional stack. So this one right here is the FS101. It's one of the strongest doubled dies, and even in this low ball condition, you can see the amazing doubling in the motto, "In God We Trust," which is highlighted with a lot of variable thickness. You have the notched edges and corners to all of the devices here. This one is just really nice. And even in this condition, folks, this one sold for $59. Okay, talk about grabbing this coin for about $5 and then turning it around and selling it for 12x what you paid for it. That, my friends, is what we call some really nice cherry picking. So again, another good one to find here. So here's the first of a couple of those Extra V 2023 Lincoln Shield cents. So here's a little bit of a market kind of update for you. This coin is actually in phenomenal shape. And someone had actually done a really good job. I don't have a close-up, but it does have a little mini V there. I actually looked at blew it up on my computer and looked it up at close, and it did have the V. So just to let you know, I'm not just showing you some random regular 2023 penny here. So this one sold for $135.25, and I will tell you, this one is more of an anomaly because within the last, I'd say, 3 weeks, we haven't seen regular sales over $100 for this coin like we did about a month ago, ever since that article from Mike Diamond came out. So I want to let you know that this is more of the exception and not the rule. We've seen quite a few of them sell in that $50 to $100 range, and I would expect it to continue that trend price-wise. So just to let you guys know, if you're able to get over $100 for these now in the current market, I would say go for it. Otherwise, just accept where the market is on these. And by the way, a lot of these are being found in the state of New York. So if you're in that area and you're feeling kind of, looking for that piece of treasure, go get yourself some brand new Lincoln Cent rolls and go to work. Because more than likely you're going to find a number of these are still relatively new in the scene, and there are brand new rolls that are out there in mass that you could look for. So our first piece of currency on the list is a very interesting one. This is a lot of 3 $2 Fed Reserve notes, and they're all consecutive numbered. What's cool is that every single one has a misaligned overprint. When we look up close here, you can see that the green seal is a little bit misaligned. It's shifted down and to the left a little bit. Normally with a misalignment or a regular aligned overprint, the green seal will be perfectly centered in this 2, so right in the middle of the W. So it's a minor misalignment. It's nothing too crazy, but the seller was asking $178 for the set of 3. I couldn't get a best offer value on it. Something with my 130 point wasn't working correctly for me to get that. So it did sell. It sold for what I consider to be a very substantial amount of money. Could possibly be $30, $35 a note or higher. So if anyone has a way of researching that for me, that'd be awesome. And just go ahead and comment below. But $178 was the ask, and a best offer was accepted. So here's one of the coins we haven't talked about in a little while. It's just an okay looking 2000 Lincoln Memorial Cent. This is indeed the wide AM reverse. It has a fair amount of carbon spotting, which is a form of corrosion on these Lincoln Cents. So you gotta be careful when you buy these that there is absolutely no way that you can remove these spots and still have it look normal. But you can see the nice wide gap here between A and M, which is the variety to look for. This one right here is sold for $10.25. So, they still have a little bit of value today. Here's our other extra V Lincoln, and boy, the photos are really bad in this particular listing. This was a coin that sold at 8:58 a.m. Pacific Standard Time this morning, so it is early enough that it's not going to garner the full potential of, the people that are available that would normally buy this sort of coin. But, it did sell. And now this one has a decent enough close-up. You can see that extra V there next to Victor David Brenner's initials. This particular one ended up selling at $70.95, and that's with 7 bids. So still a nice a realized sale price on this one, even at in a morning auction that ended up still fetching a lot of interest. And again, these coins are still quite popular today. We'll see how long that happens. These will always drop in value over time as people that want them had gotten their examples. So, something to keep in mind if you have them and you are looking to sell them. There's only 2 things that you can do. Send them off to either Annex or NGC, get them graded because they're selling for a lot more in those holders, or sell them raw, but sell them now. Don't wait on these. If you wait until, say, after the summer or later this year, when I would suspect that the demand has dropped because everybody owns them now, they're certainly going to drop down to the floor. One of our more crazier looking errors has to be this 1983, and there is enough of a date, I guess, that the seller knew it was a 1983. Jefferson nickel, it's off center by about 15-20%. It's really nice and very nice high grade with full steps, so quite nice. This one sold for $30.38. Again, these are traditionally accumulated for date sets, and that's kind of the popularity with these coins today. Same with this one here, 1984 Lincoln Memorial Cent. Not the prettiest example. It does have a little bit of a fingerprint on the obverse there. But again, it's got a full date. If it had a mid-mark, you could see it. And these are commonly pursued for those date sets. This one sold for $48, which is a pretty overachieving amount of money. These 1980s off-center struck coins typically go for about $20 to $30 today. So this seller did really well on this one. And one that we haven't seen in quite a while is probably about 6 months since I've last seen one of these major reverse struck through Lincolns. But there you go, 2018. You could see the strike through event on the reverse. Here's a great close-up photo. Actually a very crisp looking image here compared to the obverse and reverse that we just saw. So there is a massive amount of grease and probably mixed debris items like metal shavings, dirt, and various other things in there. And I would say that there was probably a feeder finger issue where it was making contact with the top of that reverse die. That's creating some of the parallel lines that you see on there. So a very attractive looking coin. This one ended up selling for $36.65 with 16 bids. And I'm glad to see that the interest and price is still very strong with this coin. I know before when folks were finding these left and right, they were selling in that $30 to $50 range, and it's still sitting there today. Roosevelt dimes made a little bit of an impact this week. Here's another one here, 1988p Roosevelt dime. This thing is sneaky tough to find, and one in which that a lot of people don't typically pay attention to. But yeah, this is another aforementioned routine cut die break. All right, just barely gripping the top of the letters of United there. You can see that crack that goes rim to rim, and you could trace it all the way through the tops of the letters and then back out the other way. So yeah, again, something that we don't typically pay attention to because normally we associate these kind of events on much older coins, but now we don't have to. This one right here ended up selling for $12, which is a really good amount of money for this coin that otherwise has been kind of absent from the market. Here's our next piece of currency. It's a 2017, sorry, I thought it was a 76. 2017A $2 bill. That little spike thing at the top is actually a pencil point showing the filled-in star on this one. So this is an over-inked star. And there have been a number of these found. They have been selling raw and graded. Not too many people want to grade them, though, because of how much it costs to grade currency. But this note right here ended up selling for $37.65 with 4 bids, and it's all because of that over-inked star that you see there. And the color is all congruent and even. Someone could very easily take a little tiny green Sharpie and just boop, right in the middle there where that white dot usually is, and that can fool some people. So make sure that you have a very consistent flow of that color on the green throughout. So a little bit of a back image there showing just a really nice crisp uncirculated piece here. And I would say keep an eye out for these, and you're always going to see the over-inked star on the top right set of serial numbers. Really cool one here, quite minor by some accounts, but it's a 1979p Susan B. Anthony dollar. This one is a just slightly broad struck coin. So there was a malfunction in the collar where it wasn't in place during the striking process. So the metal flow has to go outwards when there's no collar. This one sold for $61.31. Any mint error on a larger denom coin like half dollars and dollars are always selling for big money today. And I did a short on this about 2 days ago, and it was bid up to $300. So now it's ended. Let's see where the dust has settled on this 1984 Lincoln Memorial cent that has probably one of the strongest clashes that I've ever seen, bar none. And it's kind of crazy how much this one had circulated over the years. I mean, obviously it's not the prettiest looking coin. But this one here, folks, ended up as a staggering amount of money, and that is $361.25 with 65 total bids. And I would say that that's pretty close to a record for a clash of this ilk. You're just really not going to see die clashes sell for many multiple hundreds of dollars, but this one managed to do that here in the last day or so. We have a couple of really nice RPMs. These are well known. They're Cherry Picker's Guide varieties. So we have the 56D over D that you see here on this one, Lincoln Wheat Cent, and pretty nice, very very nice. Every time you find one, it's easy money in your pocket. This one sold for $18.36 with 5 bids. And one of our big profile coins here this week is 57D Lincoln Wheat Cent. Now, there are a fair amount of coins that you can find with really strong machine doubling. It's neither an error or variety, although there are some people that say it should be either or. But this one right here, the machine doubling is on Lincoln's profile. It is so strong. And there are a niche group of collectors that want these coins. And if the coins are in really nice shape, I would suspect that bright mid-state red examples will command a much bigger chunk of the marketplace. But even coins that look like this, guys, with that I would say is like AU condition, it's all good. So this coin surprisingly sold for $51, and that's with 9 total bids. So yeah, if you got them, I guess sell them. I'm traditionally not an advocate for machine doubling or strike doubling secondary sales, but if people are buying them and there are collectors for such, might as well take advantage of it. Otherwise, they'd just be worth 1 cent to you. And this is another good variety, always a big date to search anyways, 1960 D, and this is an RPM as well, one of the strongest ones you will find in the series. Coin's in decent shape. I would say AU again on this one. It sold for $11.50 with 8 bids this time. We had a few lots this week. Here's one here. A lot of 4 2000p Lincoln Memorials. They're all off-center. One just really majorly off-center. But this 4-coin lot sold for $30.58, which puts it at about $7.50 each. All right, so there is some opportunity where you could double up your money here with this one. Again, I always tell folks and tell you guys, look out for lots. People are selling them as bulk. They're accepting less money per piece on them, and then you could turn around and flip them and make some extra money that way. And this seller, and this is how popular 2023 Lincolns are because of that extra V. There are folks selling rolls, and this particular seller had just a box of rolls that they took a picture of, but they're selling them in lots of 3 rolls. And they're selling the 3 rolls for $12.99 a pop. All right, so face value, $1.50. They're selling it at $12.99. They have to pay about $1.50, $2 for shipping, but they will profit somewhere around like $7, $8 per lot that they sell. That's not too bad, and you could see the amount of money stack up, especially if you sell 10, 20 lots per month, which is very doable with this new error/variety that's floating around out there. Again, a little food for thought. You could do this too, and it could be a great way to supplement your other sales. Here's just a really nice off-center Roosevelt dime. Not the best looking photos, but it's off-center by about 45%, I would say. And this one ended up selling for $31 with 14 bids. Very nice. And here's another one of the big varieties that we haven't talked about in a little while. This is a 72 DDO Lincoln Memorial Cent. This is the FS103, one of the strongest doubled dies that you could find within this particular date, and it's on a Philadelphia coin. There you go. Check out the doubling. The motto is going to be all knotted up with all sorts of doubling. So is Liberty and the date as well. One of my favorite dates, and nice gem red examples. And this is where you guys come in to search through BU rolls of this date. This is always going to be a good one here. It sold for $63.90. So again, very nice solid sale. And that seems to be the going rate for these in Mint State Red. Here's a nice lamination on a 45. 1945 always seems to be that date that has a lot of lamination issues. And here's another one here. So you have a detached lamination, and then you also have an attached one as well. You can see it there right above the main one. But really cool if you're looking for just an example of this coin with a lamination or a lamination in general. Look no further. This is a good one here. $19.95 was the sale price on this one. Here's our other lot featured today, and it's a lot of 3 way off center Lincoln cents, and they're all uniface is what they call it. So these were actually overlapped coins. There were 2 planchets in the striking chamber, no collar present, and you get stuff like this, and that's why they don't have the devices on the reverse of them. So you have an 81 and an 82D large date, which are both copper, and then you have an 83D copper-coated zinc in there. So this 3-coin lot sold for $36.81. 14 bids, that puts it at a per piece price of just under $13 each. Yeah, there is opportunity here to make some pretty good money. It's going to be in really easy 2x, especially on the 2 coppers you see there. And another cool one here. This is just, again, probably more of a defective planchet issue than anything else on this 78 Roosevelt dime. Some of the nickel-clad layer had peeled off on the reverse. It's still showing a very nice sharp strike here on this one. But yeah, it probably had like a slight little lamination issue or something like that that caused this. Aside from that, it sold for $24.51 with 12 bids. Very cool looking coin. And here's our other really nice cut die break. Again, very small. These are easy to miss. 74D, so even Denver's had issues with these things. You could see that the cut covered piece of trust right here. But look at the condition of the coin. This one looks like it came out of a BU roll, which is really nice. Very, very nice coin. Very, very nice sale price at $41.26 with 5 bids. Holy smokes, man. These things are just crazy today. And this is more of a defective planchet on this Franklin half dollar. It's a 57. And you can see the cracked planchet right here. So just consider it kind of like an end of strip. When these things were rolled out, this is probably one of the junkier planchets that was punched out at the end of the strip, and that's kind of like why we see a defective planchet there, because it's just not the best quality planchets there in the end. Very nice one. $58 was the sale price. Keep in mind you could buy these in really nice shape for about half that price, so you can make some extra money here by identifying these at coin shops and dealers and shows as well. And our final item for today's Pocket Change Market Report is a piece of currency. 1988 $1 bill. You can see this one has a back to front partial wet ink transfer. How cool is that? It's not a full one would be just really crazy, but this one is very sharp. The note is in phenomenally high condition as well, which is a huge plus for collectors. But you can see just really strong green ink there, and everything's in reverse, which is what you want to see. The back of the note shows virtually nothing, so if you don't look at both sides of the note, you will never know that you have one of these particular errors. But very nice example. This one got picked up right away as a buy it now for $89.99, which is a good way to cap off the final PCMR for the month of June. So that was a lot of fun. We're going to be busy doing our show thing here for the next 4 days. And if you guys are in the area of Tulsa, Oklahoma, come by. The show is at the Cox Business Center through the next 4 days rather. And of course, your boy Blue will be there on both Friday and Saturday. And it should be a very packed, crowded spot. So I hope to see some of you there. We will have a Whatnot auction on Friday. Again, a benefit auction. But that's it. I'm out of here. Time to do some hunting. And I'm going to be doing some cherry picking myself. So you guys take care. Have a good one. Happy hunting. And I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.